What's up, guys? It's your host, Spartanic Arts DxD, back with another high school DxD related video. And today we have What If Issei Went Rogue, Part 6. Now, this is a banger part, so if you do not mind, let's go ahead and shoot for a like goal of 500 to 600 likes. That'd be absolutely amazing. And if you guys want to know exactly when I upload my upload schedule, click the little blue button right next to the subscribe button, or click the first link down in the description below, and you'll become a channel member today. Thank you so much for the support, guys. I cannot thank you enough. Like, for real, for real. Also, my Ampalpowski channel is at 46,700 subscribers currently. We are literally like 3,500 subscribers away from 50,000 subs on that channel. It'd be absolutely amazing if you head over there and subscribe right now. That'd be great. And as well as Fallen DxD, I'll be posting reactions to anime videos on Fallen DxD in the future, just because, you know, I want to, chill and just watch some anime with the boys. So, thank you guys so much for the support once again. And without further ado, let's go thank my balance breakers: Rob the King, Lachlan Yates, Jordan Patchow, Ant Lewis, Night Ammo, Refeek135, Asimodus, Slow, The Black Dragon Emperor, Keep Saying 21, Louis Bermudez, $5 Sake Sake, VRO Hashtag 2347, Night Ammo, Ziki2000, Seth Voiles, The PS Gamer, XRX108, Sinrar Q, Legendary Saiyan 98, Mazaku, Dr_MLG_ is the bomb, Grimfire Shot Gamer, That Round Guy, Zero Fusion, Source Ponder, Chaotic Raven, the J-Boys, and Ryoga. Thank you so much for becoming a balance breaker. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into Part 6. Chapter 18. Then while Issei is still thinking about this post, he heard a rowdy voice of a man and a woman. And since the guild is mostly empty at the moment, that voice clearly stands out. At a wooden table located at the corner of the guild hall, there's a man and woman sitting together. The man is about 16 to 17-year-old, average-looking youth. He has a short and slightly spiky chestnut brown hair, green eyes, and he wears one set of spotwear unexpectedly because Issei knows that in this world there's no sportswear like that man wearing now. If in Issei's original world, that's a common outfit, but in this world, he's never seen one. While a young girl is still quite beautiful, she has a slim figure with ample breasts, long legs, blue waist-long hair that is particularly tied into a loop with water molecule-shaped clip. Her clothes carry a blue color scheme, with her ordinary attire consisting of a vast, detached sleeves, thigh-high boots, and an extremely short miniskirt and a transparent underskirt. The man is talking to the girl at the moment. You unexpectedly post that kind of request to the bulletin board, the man says, while having incredulous looks on his face while looking at the girl. What's wrong? Admires my outstanding style very much? If envies me want to teach you, so as long as Kazuma kneels here, loudly shout, "Please teach me, Aquasama, I will teach you." Even though the girl is quite beauty, but it's ruined by her rampant demeaning expression she has right now. But the responsive Kazuma guy to the girl is a slap in her head with a loud pack sound. "It hurts, what are you doing?" "Ha, still asking for what I'm doing?" "Naturally, to try to fix that head of yours. Who knows, maybe after it got hit, your head might be fixed." Admires your head." "What envies that you said." The team consists of a super beautiful and outstanding archpriest and an impolite weakest class Tynekneet. Such words want me to admire envy, you useless goddess. I'm not a useless goddess, but a super beautiful and outstanding goddess of water, you impolite and weakest classed heat. Who died because of a shock caused by a slow-moving tractor? Very good. It seems like it should be time to discard you, this useless goddess. I will change the request content to Archpriest for sale. Does not need to provide any food. Only needs to sprinkle water for her. Regards as a raiding grass, then it's alright. You just wait here for me, Kazuma says. I made a mistake. Was I made a mistake? Kazuma, please forgive me, the girl says, while saying that the super beautiful and outstanding Archpriest such lay on the ground and cried while holding on to her legs, and I dragged along with the youth who want to head towards the beautiful bulletin board. Issei suddenly had the urge to just get out of here quickly because he got the feeling if he got involved with this duo, then his relaxing days might as well be considered as good for holy shit, my bad. Gone for good. Just when Issei wanted to walk out of the guild, he saw a girl suddenly showed up at the entrance, then dropped down in front of him. The small girl on the floor looks like a 12 to 13-year-old young girl. She has shoulder-length dark brown hair. She wears a classical witch attire, as well as a black coat with gold border, choker, wizard's hat, fingerless gloves, and carries a black staff. Even that Kazuma and young girl who still hang on his legs becomes quiet, looks towards the girl who just dropped down. Silence ensues. Just when Issei wants to bypass the girl, she suddenly grabbed onto Issei's ankle with a Hey, Sam, and she proceeded to say, sees a beautiful young girl fall to the ground. Generally speaking, should I check if she's okay and offer some help, right? Hearing this, Issei's face just twitched a lot and tries to calmly answer with a forced smile. Excuse me, but just think of me as a passerby, and I'm quite tired today, so I'm sorry if I can't help you. What's more, you give me a very troublesome feeling for some reason. Now, can you let go of my ankle, please? Hearing this, the young girl suddenly grabbed onto Issei's leg, just like what the blue-haired girl did to Kazuma, and started crying out loud while she's saying, we just met each other. Even if you don't want to help me, it's fine. But what's up with the definition of I gave you a troublesome feeling? Can't you see that I'm a very beautiful young girl? Indeed, she has a beautiful face. She has a fair skin, a light complexion with a touch of naivety on her beautiful face. She wears an eye patch in her right eye for some reason, though. Whoa, Kazuma says. Kazuma, who saw her face, became amazed. But what's getting Issei's attention is her eyes. It's crimson, just like Jeanne. At the same time, the blue-haired girl also recognized the color of her eyes, and both Issei and her asked at the same time while looking at the crimson eyes. Issei and blue-haired girl at the same time. Are you a Crimson Demon Clan member? Then she suddenly stand up straight away and introduced herself while making some silly poses, kinda like what Jeanne did. Indeed, I am. My name is Miganum. My calling is that of an archwizard who commands explosion magic, the strongest of all offensive magic. All of them become speechless after she did her introduction, but the blue-haired girl breaks the silence by saying, has not that thought the unexpectedly will run into a Crimson Demon Clan person here? This child also has a top-tier class archwizard. It's a good opportunity. We must get her on our team, Kazuma. Then Megaman suddenly dropped down once more. Please give me something to eat. I haven't eaten in a very long time. Then her stomach had a huge growling sound after that. Like a hungry beast growling. Just when they all become speechless once more, there's another voice coming from the entrance. Issei-san, I've done my preparation. Sorry for the wait, Jeanne said. She came inside the guild while having a happy face and waved towards Issei. Oh, beautiful and big, Kazuma said. Kazuma started drooling after seeing Jeanne's assets bouncing up and down. Then he suddenly felt a chill coming from glare from Issei, and he started sweating buckets. He hurriedly looked down. He felt as if he kept staring at this new girl, then he might lose his life once more, and this time for good. Then suddenly Jeanne saw Megaman, who's on the floor. Megaman, is that you? Jeanne said. She became surprised seeing her rival here. What happened to you, Megaman? She started panicking after seeing Megaman on the floor and tries to shake her around. Ugh, what's that annoying voice? Jeanne? That's right, Megaman, it's Jeanne. What happened to you? I haven't ate for a long time, Jeanne said. Then her stomach started to growl. Jeanne said. Then Jeanne looked towards Issei. Issei-san, please help Megaman. Issei had no other choice but to help this Megaman because Jeanne kept looking at him with teary puppy eyes. And because this Siscon, he cannot deny her request even though he knows it will be troublesome after this. Issei just sighs. Scene skip. At the one at the table of the guild, there's a bunch of food served, and Megaman can be found eating all the food with gusto. Megaman says. She ate like a starving ghost and took a whole piece of meat inside her mouth like it's nothing. They really need to specify that another way. In her opposite, Aqua could be found chugging down food, alcohol at the same speed as Megaman. Even when both of their mouth is full, they kept chugging food after drink, like they are afraid of food, and drinks will disappear if they don't eat it fast enough. Issei found out the blue-haired girl name after she says, I accept your offering, mortal. This goddess of water, Aquasuma, shall give you her blessing. Then she proceeded to eat the food he bought like nobody's business. Issei is at a loss for words after seeing them both like this. Jeanne, who sat beside him, also feeling speechless seeing her rival eating like this. Only Kazuma is laminating the unfairness of this world. Obviously, are two Bishos. Obviously, the two Bishos. Why? Kazuma says. He doesn't dare to look at Jeanne openly because of Issei, so he tried to ignore Jeanne as best as he could because he doesn't want to die once again. So he can only laminate this fate after seeing the two girls who's free in front of him. Even Issei have to agree on this lamination. Obviously, these two can be considered as beautiful girls, but all that is ruin of their attitude and demeanor. But thankfully, he got Jeanne, who's pretty normal compared to the other two. He started to appreciate Jeanne even more after comparing with these two. Megaman, eat slowly, Jeanne said. Jeanne tried to advise her rival, but Megaman just ignored the advice and still ate with gusto. After a while, they finished eating their food. Finished? If you're done, then we'll excuse ourselves, Issei says. Just when Issei wanted to get out of there as fast as possible, Jeanne started saying, My name is Jeanne. What a coincidence. What a quirk of fate. To think we have encountered each other here. You truly are my lifelong rival, Megaman. Issei got nothing to say after this. He knows the two of them know each other, but to think they are lifelong rivals. He thought that her relationship with Megaman was the same as him and Volley, or so he thought, until Megaman started saying, Anyway, this girl is Jeanne, the daughter of the Crimson Demon's leader, my self-proclaimed rival. What do you mean self-proclaimed? We're truly a lifelong rival in every sense. Ha! Says the girl who has no friend like always. I'm saying, that's where you're wrong. I have a real friend and a party member now. This is Issei-san, my lifelong friend and party member. Impossible, Meganum says. Then all of them look towards Issei. Kazuma still has goosebumps while looking at him, while Aqua and Meganum checking out Issei fully. Ooh, not too bad compared to this idiot over here. Why you... Is this the mouth? This mouth who says it all, Kazuma says. Ow, it hurts. I'm sorry, Aqua said. Then he pinched Aqua's face, and they become rowdy on their own. What are you aiming for? There's no way anybody will become friends with this meat for no reason. Don't call me meat just because your chest won't grow. Don't call me meat, Yun says. Then making him have a trick on her head and starts slapping Yun's breast while saying, if this is not a useless meat, then what is this? Ow, don't slap my breast because you won't grow. He becomes speechless after their antics. There's no particular reason. We just have a deal. If she teaches me her magic skill, then I will become her party member. But as time goes on, we truly became friends. And I found her interesting, as fun as a friend, Issei says. Yun stops slapping Yun's breast after hearing this. She has this ridiculous look on her face like the world is over. Yun became touched after hearing Issei's words. She has a blush on her face. Issei-san, to think that Yun can get a friend on her own. And she got a party first before me on top of that. Is tomorrow going to be the end of the world, Meganum said. Then, she became reminded of how she got her party member in the first place. You said you let her join your party. If she teach you her magic skills, right? Then let me join yours too. I can teach you the best offensive magic skill there is to explode. I refuse, Issei cuts her off and blatantly refused her offer without a Why? Meganum said, because you seem troublesome. Issei said that with a blank look on his face, like that's a fact. Ugh, what kind of reasoning is that? Can't you seem a beautiful girl and an archwizard at that? But Yun is also Archwizard. I'm totally content with just having her as my party member, so no thank you, Issei says. Megan became a loss for words after that, while Yun still lost in her delusion after hearing his words. Ugh, in that case, I challenge you for a duel. If I win, you will let me join your party and replace her with me. Yun finally snapped out of her delusion after hearing those words. What? Just when she was about to protest the meaning, she heard Issei said, I won't replace her. She's not some object that can be thrown away like a toy. Issei got a little bit mad after hearing Megan's words because it reminded him of his betrayal, like he's treated as a toy that could be replaced any time by his old lovers. His eyes glowing red and became slit like dragon eyes. His aura also lit a little wild. Aqua, Kazuma, and Megaman, who saw that, goosebumps got all over. What's on Kazuma's mind? This dude is the real deal. He might just truly kill me if I piss him off. His legs are shaking like crazy and he's sweating all over. Scary, but his eyes. It's also a Crimson Demon Clan member, no? His eyes are nothing like Crimson Eyes. It gives more of a dangerous vibe than them. And I could swear even the Demon Lord doesn't have this kind of vibe, Aqua says. Ugh, eyes are scary but so cool, just like a dragon's eye. Is he also from this village? No one from the village can come out with his feelings and he's dead serious in what he said all of that, Megaman said. Yun is over the cloud at this moment because the man she idolizes just says it all for her. Issei-san, so charming. What do? I really file for Issei-san, but what if he refuses? I'm afraid if he refuses, he's too cool when he says that. I apologize for my words, Meganum says. Meganum hastily apologizes because she doesn't want to get on his bad side more than she is now. She has to admit that he is really cool when says that line, though. And she kind of envies Yun, like to get this kind of master as her friend and party member. She was afraid for Yun, that's why she said all that to test him out, because she often got tricked in the past, and even though she doesn't want to admit it, she really do think Yun is a friend. But she's become flabbergasted when this man said all of that. Even she felt her heart twitch after seeing him act like that for Yun. She's happy her friend finally found a true friend on her own, but she's also envious at her at the same time. Issei finally took back his aura and closed his eyes for a second to let it revert back to normal. He's not truly mad because he can tell this Megaman is actually to do all that for Yun. If not, he might just make the one who said all of that a vacation for life and not waste his words on them. So he admired her in some way. Although she doesn't show it, she truly does care for Yun as a friend. I also apologize for my lack of control. It's just what you said. Kind of reminded me of my past, you see. They all finally gave a sigh of relief because they felt suffocated from his aura alone, except Yun because she's too lost in her delusion to realize it, and Issei never aimed his aura at her in the first place. And that is the end of Chapter 18. Chapter 19. Well, shall we get going, Yun? Yun? Issei said. When Issei didn't get a response from him, he looked towards her, and he saw Yun looking at him with an infatuated look on her face. Issei got taken aback from her look. Yun? Issei said. Then she finally snaps out of it and she hastily shakes her head. What's wrong, Issei-san? Megumin, Aqua, and Kazuma just all look at each other. When they both feels the stare they receive from Issei, just stare back, with a glare with Yunyun's face become red as a tomato and steam coming out of her face. She holds her face down after realizing their stare. When they received Issei's glare, they all look away while whistling, like they never stared at them in the first place. Then shall we go, Yunyun? Issei says. Issei feels uncomfortable by their look, so he tried to ask Yunyun once more, and just when Issei was about to answer, wait, Megumin says. They both look at her. Please take me as your party member, Megumin says. This as Megumin did a full 90-degree bow to him, and when Issei was about to answer her once more, he saw the honest look she's giving him, and he hesitated. Then he felt a tug on his sleeve. When he saw who's tugging on her sleeve, he saw Yunyun giving him a begging look. Fine, you must listen to my commands, and my name is Issei Hyodo, by the way. Issei finally relented. Megumin became ecstatic, and Yunyun gave Issei a grateful look. Issei just gave her a weary smile. Then suddenly he heard a voice. Please, take us in too, Kazuma said. Huh? What are you saying? What? Kazuma suddenly did a deal and pulled Aqua down along with him. When she was about to say something, Issei became speechless when seeing this like this. Do they have to go this far? Why? Issei says, I can't take it anymore. At this rate, we won't get anywhere. This useless goddess can't do proper job as a priest, and my class is just an adventurer/novice. Please follow Japanese. I'm begging you, Kazuma says. Issei became surprised when he said that. Kazuma knows Issei, a fellow Japanese man, from his name. It's quite easy to guess, really. Because all the name on this world, not a single one have a Japanese style-like name as him and Issei. You are the same from this world, huh? Then how you come both from so different? One is useless, while the other one is very capable, Aqua says. Megumin and Yunyun are also surprised that Issei is not from this world. You shut up, and my full name is Sato Kazuma. I'm begging you, Issei Hyodo, Kazuma says. Issei got the chills when he got called with Sama suffix from a fellow guy, especially with that much passion. First of all, don't call me a Sama. Just Issei is fine. Now, the Japanese thing, Issei says. Then Issei asked him how did he get to this world in the first place. After some questioning, he finally got the answers. To think that he brought here after his own death on Earth, and the cause of his death, how lame can a person be? Issei didn't know whether to laugh or cry on the way he died. Poor bastard's all I can say. For a fully grown man to beg with a dozen and crying at the same time. Well, not that Issei can really blame him for that, if his only party member is this useless goddess as he's described, and from the things that happened so far it seems true enough. Issei once inhaled a big sigh. At this rate, he wondered if he will become old faster with all the sigh he has ever done because he's arrived in this world. Fine, Issei said. When Kazuma was about to scream for joy, but you have to listen to my command clearly just like Megumin here. Issei says. Then Issei whispered, and if you dare look at Yunyun with that perverted look on your eyes, I will pluck your eyes, got it? Kazuma shivered fiercely from his words as he hastily shake his head up and down like it almost break at supersonic speed at how fast he nods. Issei then gives him a calm smile, but his eyes are not smiling. Then welcome aboard, Kazuma, Issei says. Yunyun became happy that her new party got bigger, and she thought she will have more friends after this. Megumin just calmly looks at their interaction between Kazuma and Issei. She can tell that what's the content of their conversation are. And she has to agree with Issei's condition because she can tell that this Kazuma is a pervert. While Aqua is just being Aqua, she didn't have a single clue nor even care about what just happened. She just has this silly look on her face. After a while, Issei checked all over the skills, became speechless once more, and started regretting his choice of accepting him into the team. Kazuma is still fine because he's a novice, but what's up with the other two? This self-proclaimed goddess put all of her skills pointing to the street artist performance stuff, and the only priest she has are purification and resurrection. While this Megumin only has one skill available, namely explosion magic. Sure, it's high level, but it's the only skill in her arsenal that's available. That means after she ran out of mana, she can't cast any other skills at all, not even a small fireball spell. You must be kidding me, Issei says. Issei didn't know what to say after seeing this. He started to hate his dragon pride a little bit, because he can't take back his words after accepting them as a party member. Let's just get this over with, Issei says. Then they proceeded to look to the quest board. Issei just takes a crusade against the White Wolf quest, and all of them except for Yunyun became paralyzed from the self-proclaimed haughty goddess until a self-proclaimed strongest arch-wizard who possesses explosion magic on her arsenal. Finally, Kazuma became a representative for asking Issei about the quest. Issei-san? Kazuma says, what's wrong? Issei replied, that's a high-rank quest, isn't it? So? But we are rookies. And? Never mind, Kazuma said. Kazuma didn't know what to say anymore and just gave up asking questions. He just had this resigned to fate on his looks on his face. Aqua and Megumin hugged each other, and they were trembling because they thought their life would be fortified soon. Even though they both have some screw loose in their head, they can tell when all of the hope is lost for them. Even though Meganum truly believes that explosion is the strongest spell, it can't do much if the spell doesn't hit the target, and White Wolf are known for their speed and agility, so she can forget hitting one with their explosion spell unless the wolf stays put. But that's impossible, unless the wolf's stupid and won't stay put. Well, Aqua can't even beat a giant frog, what's more of White Wolf, which are obviously stronger than the former one. Only Union became confused after seeing them like this. What's wrong with you guys? What's wrong with you, you asked? Don't you know what a White Wolf is? I do not know about them, but what's wrong with it? It's clearly a strong monster that's not for rookies such as ourselves, idiot, Meganum says. But Issei-san is a B rank, and we often beat strong monsters than a White Wolf. Meganum, Aqua, and Cosmo B ranked? Then they fiercely turn their heads all together at the same time and look towards Issei. Issei at this moment are taking the quest from the register at the counter. Really? They all asked at the same time, and they asked Union once more. Yeah, I often do quests together with Issei-san, so I know his capabilities as well. Then what rank are you, Yun? I'm a C rank and almost got promoted to B rank after a couple more quests. It's wrong. She gave them a clueless look while she just said this is very normal. Meganum and Yun left their village at the same time. They arrived about a few weeks ago, and Yun to achieve C rank just after the short amount of time just showed how ridiculous her capabilities are. Even Meganum is still at E rank after all this time. She could be considered a fast rank climber compared to most of the adventurers, while both Kazuma and Aqua are still F rank. You must be lying, Meganum said. No, I'm not, Yun replied. Then let me take a look at your card. Here, Yun said. Then they all gather to look at Yun's card, making him have all his hope and his lost look on her face as she can't believe all this is real, while Cosmo and Aqua just look wowing in the background. To think me, the genius star wizard of all time's rank, are below this loner, Yun says. How rude. I'm not a loner anymore. She didn't realize she basically admitted that she was a loner before. Let's go, Issei said. Then they all have no choice but to go with Issei. Scene change. Skip. After they arrived at the green pasture, they thought it's going to be easy because they have a B and C rank with them. But all that changed as they heard Issei says, me and Union are not going to help you until you really need help yourself. Issei says, why? They all said. What do you mean why? Of course it's because I want to look at your capabilities. I already know Yun's capabilities, so I don't need her to show me again. Don't tell me you guys are afraid, Issei says. Issei gave them a challenging look. Of course not. Who says we're afraid? Oh, then let's go then, Issei said. After a while of waiting, Aqua could be found doing a prayer. God, please bless me. God, please bless me, even though she's a goddess herself for some reason to pray to another god. Meganum is standing stiff, while she could be heard muttering, I'm not afraid, I'm very strong. She's shivering a bit, even though she said all of that, while Cosmo just gave this calm, confident face, but his legs are shaking fiercely. Issei took a look at all of them and had nothing to say. Yun just weirdly smiled at that. I say, why do you guys seem so afraid, even though I said I want to see your capabilities? I never said I'd let you die, didn't I? Issei said. Really? They all said at the same time. Issei just sits there in silence. Wait, you're not planning to pick this quiz specifically just to left us behind, did you? Cosmo said. Issei just stood there in silence. Aqua and Megan's body fiercely shakes. After hearing that, after seeing Issei doesn't answer right away, they both threw themselves at Issei's legs and cried out loud while saying, please don't leave us behind, Issei-sama. Gross, your snot and tears are touching my legs. I won't leave you behind, so let go, Issei said. Really? Yes, really, so let go. They finally let go after Issei fiercely glares at Cosmo for causing this to happen. Cosmo hurriedly do a dog do this while saying, I am very sorry. Yun tried to wipe the stain to Issei's leg, but Issei stopped her from doing so, but the way she planned it seemed very wrong. After waiting for a while, the wolf must have ran away after knowing the great Aqua-sama is here, Aqua said. Just when she finished boasting ground, she fiercely shakes, and Meganum pointed behind Aqua while her hands are trembling. Wolves, Meganum said. There's a loud roar heard from the loud footsteps heard in the distance behind Aqua's back. Cosmo and Meganum faces are pale, and they're shivering while looking behind Aqua's. You guys must be working together to trick me, right? What's with that expression? Like there's some monsters behind my back. Don't do this kind of joke, okay? There will be divine punishment if you try to scare off a goddess, okay? Okay? Even though Aqua tried to look calm, but her body was shivering like crazy. Then the sound of footsteps behind Aqua became suddenly stopped, but all of a sudden stillness just made Aqua more afraid. With that roar of footsteps resumed, itself started to close at a faster rate on them. Aqua started to whine. Then Aqua hurriedly run towards Cosmo's groups while crying loudly. Both Cosmo and Megumin turn around and run as fast as they can while shouting, "Don't come over here! Go away! Save me! Save me as well! I'm begging you, save me!" Aqua said. Issei and Yun, who looked at this, became speechless. Yun tried to help them, but she got stopped by Issei. The leader of the White Wolf Pack gave a louder roar after its pack started running faster towards Aqua's direction. Then Aqua tripped herself. No! Issei could only sigh while saying, "I obviously want to look at their capabilities, but for this to happen..." Then he made a dash towards Aqua's direction when a wolf almost bites Aqua. He arrived in front of it and punched the wolf right in its head. The wolf got blown away while its head break like a watermelon without able to let out a single sound. Its body smashed with the rest of the wolves behind it. A loud boom sound after the impact. The wolves got hit by the blown away wolf. Body died right away. Issei calmly stands in front of Aqua after doing that. Wow, seriously? Kazuma said. Kazuma, who's hiding behind a tree, gave the reaction after seeing Issei's action. Wow, amazing. Moreover, very cool and charming, Meganum says. Meganum, who certainly was hiding behind a rock, said this while having stars in her eyes. Aqua, who just saved his doll's vice when she suddenly grabbed onto Issei's body like a vice grip and started crying while thanking him at the same time. Thank you, thank you. Ugh, don't grab onto me while you're crying. Your tears and snot are rubbing against me. Let go, you idiot. He tried to push her off, but became surprised because she had such a strong grip, surprisingly. What? How come her grip are so this strong? This is not what a human is capable of doing. Is she really a goddess? Issei's physical body is strong as hell, but for him to unable to peel her off is pretty surprising, even though he's not fully used his strength in fear of hurting her. The rest of the wolf gave a loud roar because they lost their companions. But they are not stupid. They know if this human is capable of doing all that in one punch, he's pretty strong himself. They're just putting a tough front because they know they can't beat him if all of them went together. Then Issei just looked towards them while suppressing the wolf with his aura alone. They become petrified in the place and lower their heads while growling softly. Ooh, they are feeling afraid. Megan saw this for a chance to show off her skill. Main character is going on stage. It really is a golden opportunity. Now I shall experience the most powerful magic of all time, Meganum says. After the declaration, you're going to raise her staff and chant her magic. Darkness blacker, then blacker, darker than dark. I beseech thee, combine with my deep crimson. The time of awakening is cometh. Justice fall upon the inflammable boundary. Appear now as an intangible distortion. This is the mightiest means of attack known to man. The ultimate attack. Explosion. Then there's a loud blast giant explosion in the distance. Wait, Issei said. Issei's voice got down and because of the sound effect caused by her explosion magic. And that is the end of chapter 19. Chapter 20. How's that? The strongest offensive magic skill in the world. Explosion. Now babble for me, you plebs, as my magic's power... The green pasture has now hit a big crater, and Meganum, after used her skill for some reason, dropped down to the ground. Issei, who saw this, kept twitching his face, while Kazuma is in awe. Aqua's still clinging to Issei. Yun is clapping for her rival. You idiot. Did you forget what the content of the quest was? The owner of the pasture wanted us to get rid of the white wolf because they are destroying his pasture. Now that the damage you have done is obviously bigger than the whole wolf pack, you think the owner will give us our rewards for the quest, Issei says? Of course. He will sue us instead of paying us after what just happened. You get it now? And I can guess why you fell down after casting your magic. Because you put your whole skill points into explosion magic alone. Sure, its might and power will be great and casting time became shorter because the mana consumption will all be bigger. And considering your low level, even though your whole status points into your mana, it still won't be enough. So after you cast one explosion spell, you pretty much ran out of mana down for the count, am I right? They all started trembling when they remembered the content of the quest and started trembling even more after knowing they might get sued by the pasture owner. But after hearing Issei's analysis on Meganum's skill, they looked down at her direction and saw her body fiercely shaking, and she was even sweating buckets at this very moment. They all know that Issei just said is true. After seeing her reaction, even Yun didn't know what to say. She had a very worried smile on her face fade because she can't do anything to assist her rival on this one. I knew it was a mistake for taking you all on this party's members, Issei said. Now, skip. Scene change. When they got back to the guild hall and submit the report to Luna, they got sued for 10 million eris, and each party members needs to pay 10 million eris, not 10 million eris as a whole party, but for each individual. What Luna said they got sued is pretty much the same, just like what Issei said. Because the damage they did is bigger than the whole wolf pack, and the pasture is pretty much destroyed because it becomes unstable. Issei and Yun just stayed calm after hearing that, but Yun gave her rival a concerned look because both her and Issei have lots of money from all the quests they did. And when Yun tried to pay for Meganum, Issei doesn't allow it because they reap what they sow. So they can only relent because she doesn't want to go against her idol. Even her puppy look won't look this time. Kazuma, Aqua, and Meganum faces are pale as a white sheet of paper as they are shivered of all of the hearing and the depth they're in. When they tried to ask for help at Yun, they received a deadly glare from Issei and they could only shut up. They can't blame Meganum alone either because if Kazuma isn't just hiding the entire time, he could have stopped Meganum. Aqua, distracted by Issei hugging him like a vice grip, so they can only accept their fate. Just when they thought their situation could not get any worse, they heard Luna talk once more. There's also someone who got injured by Anga and some of the spell, and she's waiting upstairs to meet the one who cast that spell, Luna says. They all become startled after hearing that, so they head towards the second floor of the guild, and they arrive in front of the room where they got injured by making him spell. Is this really okay? That person got hit by explosion magic. It's already a miracle they're still alive, and even they must be critically injured. Well, don't worry so much. After all, Aqua is an archpriest, so she could heal the injuries they got, right, Aqua? Cosmo says, yeah, leave it to me. With my healing spell, she'll be fine, Aqua said. Well, it's your own fault anyway, so just hurry up and go inside and just get this over with. It's not like things could get any worse than they are now anyway. At worst, they will just sue you once more, Issei said, making no troubles once more, knowing she might get into bigger debt. Suddenly my stomach hurts. Bam! She got cut out because the door suddenly burst open, and the one who opened the door just went straight into making women hold her hands while saying, "Thank you very much." Is this first word of a normal person who got injured by somebody else? She is tall, beautiful young woman, and she has appearance of a cool beauty. She is well endowed, and also has light blue eyes and straight, long blonde hair that kept in a ponytail tied with a braid red hair clip, secured on both sides of her bangs. She is clad in the black, white, and yellow armor, with metal shoulder plate on her left side, and a wing-like coat perched upon her right shoulder, but most of her body is covered by bandages at this time, and her blushing, beautiful face at this moment is still filled with pure ecstasy and joy while using drooling a little bit. What's on Issei's mind after this newcomer ended? Issei said. He could tell right away this woman is also not normal. There's no sane person will become happy and joyful after getting injured. Really? Thank you so much. I have never felt such a powerful attack. This is my first time felt a peak pleasant sensation that's even made my entire consciousness starts to fly. Is that explosion magic? It's really good, the person says. Her way of speaking, all of them moved backward, their face also grimming after hearing her words. My name is Darkness, also an adventurer. Pleased to meet you all. The purpose of wanting to meet you here is because I want to enter your party. My class is Crusader, and I act as a vanguard, and I have very high defense parameters, so don't hesitate to use me as a meat shield. If anything, D.O., use me as a meat shield to your heart's content. So please let me join your party. They didn't know how to respond to her words. Issei has his faraway look on her face while thinking, Sumerians, is this really a world where you wanted me to go? Do you really think this is a relaxing place? This world is filled with special people. At Sumerian's domain, achoo! Did you get cold, Semiramis? Scathach said, no, that's impossible. I wonder if Issei is thinking me right now. Does he miss me, Semiramis says? Well, indeed for him, it's been a while for us, so it's just been a few days past since we last met him. And you girls need to keep up the pace. Don't be slow. Phew, Jeanne and Jalter said. Got it. Scathach is supervising Jeanne's training for the upcoming raining game because both she and Semiramis won't participate in the game because that would be overkill. Even though Jeanne and Jalter are strong, they still need more polish participating in the raining game because their current might get wiped early on. At their best, power level at this moment is on par with the ultimate class or over there. Scathach don't want her sisters to be embarrassed with their husband in the raining game because of their weaknesses, and even Semiramis agreed on her idea. And did you like your new body, dear Irene? Semiramis says, this is indeed a nice body, and it will take me a little more time to get used to. Don't worry, I will gain full control of my body soon for the upcoming raiding game, and I have to fully thank you once more, Irene says. No need to thank me, aren't we sisters? And I'm glad you like your new body. Irene's face got a little red after hearing this. She's indeed very happy with her new body because she knows that Issei will be really like this body. She touched the mark on the middle of her chest while having it endowed first. Irene is a tall, voluptuous, beautiful woman with a thickly braided bow of scarlet hair. Her two front braids have golden ornaments near the upper sections. For clothing, Irene has a requete vision of the typical witch's garb. Her black top has a diamond-shaped opening, exposing the middle of her breast, while the white heart of the dragon's wing. My beloved true soulmate, Issei. Now at Sona's place, Sona and Tsubaki can be found in the room. Sona is the sofa, kneeling her forehead while Tsubaki just stands behind her while giving Sona a concerned look. How stupid can you be, Rias? As your friend, I'm truly at a loss for words, Sona says. Sona-sama, Tsubaki says. I'm fine, Tsubaki. I just can't believe at what they all did. Don't let Saji know this, because he might just blow up things and make it more complicated than it is now, Sona says. Okay, Sona-sama, Tsubaki says. Saji is one of Issei's good friends. They can be called pawn buddies. If Saji knows what the cause of Issei's state of appearance, then he might just go to Rias and start shouting at all of them, well, how could he know they did that? And if they knew the cause of Issei did it all themselves, then all hell will surely break loose. Even the gods' pantheon is wondering where the Red Dragon Emperor is. All they can say is he's training himself on somewhere unknown for the upcoming raiding game. It's true, though, they just didn't know that yet. For now, they believe that their excuse, but if a raiding game Issei doesn't show up, then truly no one what to do anymore. Some gods of destruction Shiva think of Issei as his rival and brother. If he knew the reason why Issei disappeared, then he might kill Rias and the others for it. And, of course, Sir Zex will not stand by watching his sister getting along killed with Akino's father, Barkil, for that matter. Issei has a big influence on the political situation of the four factions, so if he chance never reappears, then there won't be peace any longer. Where are you, Hyodo-kun? Sona says. Now, back with Issei. After meeting with Darkness, he decided to disband the party for a while and went on their respective set of motion. Issei and Yunyun still together, while Aqua, Cosma, Megami, and their new addition to their party, Darkness, are together. Issei and Yunyun went to do quests, and finally, Yunyun reached B rank just like Issei. At one time, Issei went to the cemetery. He sees a woman there. At first, he finds what he's doing as he saw she's purifying lost souls. She's beautiful and well-endowed woman with fair skin and a corruption's figure. She has brown eyes and straight hair reaching down to the front of her shoulders further behind her back, slightly curling at the tips. Her fringe sometimes covers her right eye. She also possesses a single agenum that arcs off the top of her head. She wears a purple dress with dark purple cloak / robe over it. When she noticed Issei, she got a little bit surprised that someone was watching her, but then she got attracted to his aura because she's a lich. She is quite sensitive to the light forces around her, and the man before her has the biggest life force she has ever seen. Issei still calmly gazes at her, and he knows she's not human just from a glance. He can tell she's some kind of undead from her aura alone, but this is the first time he saw an undead that has not lost their reasoning, and she seems like a kind person. She kept purifying the souls around the cemetery and not consuming them like other high-level undead would. Issei is the first to break their eye contact, and when he tried to leave, she called him out. Wait! Issei stopped and looked back, but he doesn't say anything. The woman panicked a little because she realized she called him out for no particular reason, just because by saying near him she feels comfortable, like she's alive once more. This is because of Issei's life and death aura. As time goes, he starts attracting souls to him because they felt his aura are very comfortable, but he never likes those souls that gather around him, so he makes them pass on to the afterlife just like that ghost from the haunted mansion. But if it's an evil soul, they will never get close to him because they are afraid of being destroyed or eaten by him. Good souls search for salvation, while evil souls want to do evil things in the world of the living even after death. And if Issei saw those kinds of soul, he would usually destroy them if he had the chance. My name is Wiz. Issei just sits there in silence. He still doesn't answer. Is it possible for me to know your name? Wiz says. It's Issei Hyodo, Issei replies. Are you royalty? Wiz replies. In this world, usually the one whose surname is only a royalty. Issei said no to her question, then she felt a little bit relieved because usually the royalty she knows is a bit troublesome. Then Issei-san, is it okay if I call you that? Wiz says. I don't mind, Issei replied. Can I offer you some tea at my place? Ah, that is okay with it. I'm not forcing you, Wiz says. Wiz didn't know why, but she wanted to stay longer with him. She's kind of desperate when she sees him walk away. Issei just gazes at her silently, and she's feeling nervous he might decline the offer. She never really feels this thing before. She's a very meek woman, so it's very surprising for her to do this kind of thing on the guy she just met. But she couldn't help it. His presence is so soothing and it makes her heart warm, even though she's already dead. And that is the end of chapter 20. And that is where we're going to stop for now. Get cliffhangered. Yeah, I don't regret it. No apologies. Okay, I'm sorry. But that's pretty much a wrap for this episode. I know you're still in the premiere, so go ahead and hit the like button right now. And I think I'm going to do an IRL video because, I bought my first car with my own money that I earned. And I couldn't thank you guys enough for all, because you definitely helped me out with my income. Like, I cannot tell you how much I needed that car. Okay. I really did need it. I didn't have a car. I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't do anything. And now I can, I can ship my own merch. Yes, this is the reason I bought the car. I know it's kind of a thing that I would do, but I wanted to make merch and then ship it myself to the UPS, or not ship it myself, but take it to the UPS office and ship it to you guys personally and give it a little signature and everything like that. If you want to, you can obviously buy it without the signature, but I would love to do that because it'd just be cool having like something like that on a shirt that I know that I made. I don't know. It sounds cool. Okay, thank you. I do want to show you guys what my car is. It's a Mustang. It is a 2022 Fastback EcoBoost Mustang, and it looks super cool. I'm really glad that I got it because it makes my life a whole lot easier when I drive now. I didn't have a car before, if you guys didn't know, and I really couldn't do anything. I seriously can't. I cannot tell you how thankful I am for this. Like, I thank you so much. Okay, I am on my hands and knees, bro. I couldn't have done this without you guys. You seriously helped me so much throughout the way. Your boy's broke, okay? So it really helped that I got a car. It made everything a lot easier. You know, I'm in college, so I'm a broke boy. So thank you so much for the support, guys, and I cannot thank you enough for everything that happened or everything that's going on. I'll definitely post a picture of my car soon or just make a video about it. Once again, thank you to all my balance breakers. And once again, I hope we hit 40K soon on this channel, and also I'm going to hit 50K on my other channel. And then I have 30,000 on TikTok, so we are actually 100,000 people across all platforms, baby, and I'm so glad I get to say that. So thank you so much for the support, man. Seriously, it's been one crazy heck of a ride. Thank you to all my balance breakers, limit breakers, and altruistic members once again. And without further ado, let's try to hit that 500 to 400 like goal. And without further ado, let's go ahead and stop the video right there. See you later, guys. Spartanic Cards DXD out.